Hi. Wow, I feel like I'm really, really close to the camera today. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. We are getting ready to go into the home stretch. I'm not sure who's on. I can't really see. Let me see what this button is. No, that's not what I'm looking for either. I know there's a way to do it. Oh well. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. So today I'm here not to talk about anything new, but first of all, I want to say I'm Angelyn Thompson. Just in case I happen to come through your feed and you don't know who I am. I don't ever know in this world of Facebook land or the internet where videos land. So they give me these so-called algorithms or insights. Yes, analytical insights. And I have discovered it only gives me the insights on the first level. So if someone likes on my first level and it shows up in someone else's feed, from there on out, I don't think I get any analytics on it. So just in case, my name is Angelyn Thompson, and this is another episode of Hope and Handles, where I want to stir up your hope and give you some handles so that it's not a situation where you're hopeful and then you're like, oh, well, I'm all hyped up and then not doing anything. And if that's still the case, I'm going to come back next week and stir it up again. So we're going to just go ahead and dive right in. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on WordPress, so just about all the social media platforms. An announcement, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep my Hope and Handle series on Facebook Live or if I will maybe go to YouTube or one of the podcast platforms, not sure. Because I'm learning and basically executing my vision so it can change. So anyway, today I want to talk about some revolutionary reminders. So I'm not really going to tell you anything new, but just want to remind you of some things. Especially today if you're in the U.S. with all the distractions that's in the news. I don't watch the news, but of course on Facebook, I guess I watch the news because it comes through my feed. Nevertheless, let's not get distracted by the distractions because all that is a distraction, right? So my first point would be rain. And what do I mean by that? Optimizing your thoughts. So when you talk about rain, that means that someone has supreme power over a body. They have rule over a body, a territory, a state, a kingdom, or something like that, right? So you have your own universe, right? You are your own universe. You are your own territory, your own state, your own domain. So I just want to say that you need to work with your thoughts at all times to remind yourself that you are limitless, that you are powerful, and that you have unlimited possibilities as long as you are directing your thoughts in the correct manner. And that is how you reign over your kingdom, by the way that you use your thoughts. So make sure, here are the handles, that you are setting aside time to work with I am. I am powerful. I am creative. I am innovative. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am energetic. I am youthful. I am loved. I am loving. I am respected. I am worthy. I am more than enough. I am powerful. I am strong. I am independent. I am independently wealthy. I am feminine. I am intuitive. I am masculine if that's what you need. I am balanced. I am focused. So you get it? Feeling better already with my I ams, right? So work with your I ams. That's like sharpening your saw. That's what Franklin Covey called it. It's setting aside time where you're going within and restoring yourself. Because think about it this way. When you're out here in this world, you are pouring yourself out. I mean, if you're really living, you're expressing, you're pouring yourself out. You are impacted by different people's energies throughout the day, whether it is face-to-face if you still are out and about during the pandemic, or It's through social media. I mean, you are exposed to people energy because we're all energy. So like right now it's crazy energy here with all the crazy stuff going on, but so you got to protect your energy. You have to go within, restore, and pour in your own cup, so you're not out here depending on somebody to fill you up. So make time to rest and don't do the distractions. And another point that I want to make on that is the difference between reacting and responding. So I find when I am reacting, it is typically because I have allowed my thoughts to dwell on something that is outside of my control. And responding means that my scope is on what I can control, which is my attitude, my aptitude, and my ability. I can control those things. Anything else I can't control. The foolishness that's going on here today, I can't control that. So why would I give it my energy? So like, think about the power lines, right? They get fed by a generator. And if that power line is down, then there's no energy for your home. Your heat is not on if you have electric heater. If you need some cool air, you don't have no cool air, you can't cook, can't see at night. So why would I turn myself off through resistance with some mess that I have no control over? And if it's not that mess, it's whatever mess anybody else have. Because let me tell you, people who don't know their reign, they don't understand their power, believe you me, they are going to try to manufacture some power. And the way that they try to manufacture some power is usurping themselves over other folks, or trying to anyway. So anyway, remember your reign. Routines is the next thing I want to talk about. Optimize your time, right? So if you missed my Plan with Purpose workshop, I got another one coming up. Won't be free this time, but please be on the lookout because I will be posting up that event pretty soon. And I'm going to offer 25% off though, but it will not be free. Because in order to optimize your time, you need to have a plan for your time and a schedule, right? So a plan would be similar to how do you get money coming in. But the good thing is we have time automatically deposit every single day. We get 24 hours deposited every single day automatically. We don't have to go out and earn our time. We get that for free. And we take it for granted. We value the money more than the time. And we can replace the money if something should happen to money. But we cannot replace our time. We can replace a relationship. We can replace property. We can replace all this foolishness that we spend so much of our time worrying about the loss of. But we don't spend time worrying about the loss of our time or misuse of our time. And how we leverage our time makes all the difference in the world about what our life is going to look like in the future. So optimize your time, plan, have goals, and then create a schedule so that you can make sure you have time in your budget or your schedule to execute against those plans. Anyway, range. Let's talk about range. Range would be optimize your talents. So, I don't know. I spent the first part of my career just going to work, doing my job, trying to do my job the best I could. And I didn't really think about it as a career. I thought about it as work. Makes a big difference. So when you think about it as work, you go in, you clock, and you do your job. But change is inevitable. And especially in this day of technology, which means that what you're able to do, what your abilities are, what your talents are going to change. And even if you own your own business, it's going to change. So optimizing your talent means that you're not afraid to learn something new. You make time, back to that plan and schedule. You have it built in, whether you do it weekly or whether you do it daily, but you have that time built in where you're going to set aside some time to learn something new. Maybe it's something for your job. It's a new skill that you need for your job. Or maybe it's a new interpersonal skill that you need. Like in my case, working with bullies in the workplace, then you need another skill set to deal with bullies. Or maybe you not work with a bully, you live with a bully. you need a way to work with that where it's not impacting your brain, your thoughts, and it's not impacting your routine either. So the other thing I want to talk about is on that optimize your talent, being able to push through in spite of frustrations. Like when you're learning something new, it's just like riding a bike. You may not get it right the first time. You may have to just keep pushing through, even though you're getting frustrated. Like you keep trying, and you just can't get it to work. I had that experience today. I was trying to learn how to use a new tool. Hoo-wee! It was outside my skill set, but let me tell you, I just believe that where there is a demand, there is a supply. Where there's a question, there's an answer. So I continue to push through, and I continue to communicate with infinite intelligence, like, help me, please, 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 please help me understand how to do this. And I finally got it done. Let me tell you, it was the greatest feeling in the world. So optimize your talents. And then too, when you're working on these jobs, one of the things I realized since I've been trying to launch my new business versus working on a job, they get to tell you how you're going to use your talents. I felt like in hindsight, my creativity was stifled. I was settling on my creativity. It was like I had to resuscitate it. I had to resuscitate my creativity. I mean, think about it. On most of your jobs, you don't have creative control over what you're doing in your job. I mean, some people, they have good relationships with their managers or whatever, and so they have a seat at the table of decisions. But if you don't have a seat at the table of decisions, you don't really get to like take your talents and your creativity and just push it to the limit. It's like you go in and they give you a 10-pound weight every day, and you're not given an opportunity to increase the weights so that you can increase your capacity, so that you can increase your strength. No. So I encourage you, if you don't have an interest in starting your own business, then have a hobby. Have something where you can fully unleash and express your creativity, because that's what a juice of life is. I mean, I think that's why so many people feel stagnated and just feel like they're going through the motions and on autopilot, because we're not out here playing with life and stretching ourselves and seeing what are we really capable of? What are our abilities? But I'm not going to spend too much time there. What I'm going to do is just say, push through in spite of frustrations. If you want a business, go ahead and start the business. I mean, you know, so many times it's like believe in yourself first. But is that really it? Sometimes you just need to start and try and make that attempt and keep making that attempt. And after a while, I think the belief comes because you're showing yourself, I know how to do the damn thing, right? Show yourself you know how to do it, and don't limit yourself based on what you're capable of today. If you put yourself out there and you try, your ability and your capacity will start to open up. And the more that you try, the more it opens up, and the more it opens up, and the more it opens up. And it's just sad that so many entrepreneurs will only talk about their struggles if you pay for a masterclass. It's about trying. Try. Go look at other people's pages if you're trying to launch something online. Look at their pages. What tools are they using? Then go look at the reviews. That's what I did. I finally found a webinar tool that I think is going to work for me. And I found another tool that I can use to interface with my Instagram, because I don't know who's fake and who's real with these master classes out here. Because you got some people, they just decided, hey, look, I'm going to try. It doesn't mean that they have quality information. And then you have some people who have quality information and they're not even trying. I'm not using my coins like that anymore. So I'm going to watch, learn, and apply. So anyway, I'm going to move on past that. RAM. Let's talk about your RAM. Optimize your treasure, right? That's scope. You reign, but you need to know What is your realm that you are reigning over? So this goes back to that recognizing what is within my control and what is outside of my control. It's about making sure that I am protecting my health. My health is under my control, and I control that primarily about how my mental diet is. The Bible says it is not what's outside of the man that defiles the man, but what comes out of the man, right? So I believe food does have a part of it, but the biggest part of it is what is going on in here. Because if you think about it, what is going on in here will drive what goes in here. Whether it be alcohol, whether it be sugar, whether it be processed foods, like back to that routine thing, right? If you don't have a good routine and you have built it into your schedule to prepare yourself a quality meal, then guess what? Right. It's going to impact your health. Let's talk about your emotions. Your emotions is within your realm. And I remember a time I thought that my emotions attacked me, for lack of a better word, or that people made me mad, or people made me happy, or you what was my saying? You cross the line, you get what you get. That used to be my saying when I was thinking from a reactionary brain. But at the end of the day, my emotions are my responsibility. My moods are my responsibility, and I can control my moods. I am not victimized or a victim of circumstances. I'm not a victim of things. I'm not a victim of people. None of those control my emotions. I get to choose how I'm going to feel. And I think learning that one thing and practicing it has made the biggest difference in my emotional landscape. Your spirit, that's within your realm. That is part of your treasure. And your spirit, for lack of a better word, is your soul. Some people call it your unconscious mind. But in essence, it's you, the real you, not the costume, not this costume, but the real you. Your essence, that's your treasure too, and it's your realm, and you get to control what that essence will look like. You can control, are you going to be a liar, or are you going to be a person of integrity and have character? You can control, are you going to be what's the word I'm looking for, depressed? Are you going to be a depressed person? I mean, are you going to be a follower? Are you going to be a leader? You get to decide all of that, what your essence, your true essence is. Whether you're going to be a giver or a taker, because there's a lot of takers out here. And it's amazing to me. I have a good friend that I follow on LinkedIn, and he is one of the most generous people I know. He supports everybody in their efforts and whatever they're doing. And he posted that he was participating in a fundraiser. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, he's going to have a lot of support for his fundraiser. And I looked, only one person, had supported him in return. And oftentimes I find myself wondering, and I have to reel myself in because it's outside of my control, but still puzzled by human behavior about where they don't give back where they're fed. They like to give the people who don't feed them, but they don't give back to where they're fed. So again, you get to decide that too. Are you going to be a giver or a taker? I think it should be give and take, because that's a balanced approach. You got to be okay with receiving too, because givers a lot of times are not comfortable with receiving. You go to give them something, they're like, no, that's all right. Boo. It is okay for somebody to give to you too. So anyway, the other one is knowing your sphere of influence. Like, so what can you influence or what can you control? That goes back to that circle. And in a Franklin Covey class, they have like this inner circle, and then they have this outer circle. So all that stuff that's on the news is in that outer circle. You have no control over that. That stuff is outside. You can think about what can you influence in terms of that. That's why I don't watch the news. Why would I use my time like that? And I know people who watch the news 2-3 times a day. I don't get it. Why would I spend all that time even looking for the news on the internet or subscribing to the news feed? Why am I doing that when I can use that time optimizing my thoughts, optimizing my time, and optimizing my talent? Something that's going to benefit me directly. But anyway, how these people want to run their companies, going into there resisting that they have these stupid policies and they nurture these narcissistic managers. That's a waste of my time. I used to do that. I'm not resisting that anymore. I play by your rules while I'm on your clock, and when I'm off your clock, I'm going to be doing everything I can to build my own realm that I can rule over. So anyway, I'm not going to beat that horse either. So knowing what your treasure is and optimizing your treasure, the biggest treasure, of course, is your self-worth. Knowing that you are worthy. And like you know, that is my word this year. And I can't tell you how many times, like this month is, my shade of power is worthy of good habits. I'm over here fighting with myself. Please hear me when I say it is a struggle over here for me to consistently build these habits. I'm just like, oh my gosh, because you have to be really intentional and replacing things. Like if you got a bad habit, you just can't stop doing the bad habit. You really need to focus on starting doing something else. So I'm not going to go into that. I'll talk about that another time. But knowing your self-worth, who you are, what you believe in because you believe in it, and what you value because you decide you want to value it as an individual. And don't let anybody try to make you be somebody that you are not. And don't you try to make yourself be somebody that you're not. I'm not going to name this person who is in my family, but their favorite retortion is, this is how I am. I have been like this all my life, and I'm not going to change. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Just because that's how you are, if it's ineffectual and it's not helping you optimize your thoughts, optimize your time, optimize your talents, optimize your treasure, then you need to change. That's what I tell myself. And change is okay. I'm going to always be changing, evolving, and growing. Because life is changing, evolving, and growing. And when you don't change, evolve, and grow, you become extinct, period. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I don't know how long I went this time. Oh, I went longer than I was supposed to. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope that this gave you some hope and it gave you some handles. And this is 2021. Just some revolutionary reminders. Again, to recap, focus on your reign, optimize your thoughts. Focus on your routines, optimize your time. Focus on your range. That's how much range can you have? Optimize your talents and focus on your RAM. Optimize your treasure. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week. Don't know which platform, but I'll keep you posted. Have a good one.